Welcome to Life Coaching on the Move. I'm Fiske, your host of this podcast, where we shake things up, cover topics that are hopeful, they're helpful, they're upbeat, they're enthusiastic, they're positive, and they are very practical, where you can take learnings from each episode and apply them to your own lives and make tiny tweaks that will ripple out into all areas of your life. The tips will help you build your confidence, will help you find happiness, gain greater control. So welcome along. If you're one of my regular listeners, it's great that you've come back. Thank you. Welcome back. If you're a new listener, then welcome along. This is me. It's raw and authentic. I don't edit. I don't script write. I just speak from the heart. So sometimes I don't even know what we're really going to talk about until I just start, and then it just flows from there. I wanted just to give you a little bit of background in terms of where you can connect with me. My website is www.milestone-coaching.co.uk, where you can find all sorts of information about services I provide, from one-to-one coaching, either over Skype, FaceTime, telephone, or face-to-face if you're local to the Hampshire, UK area. Coaching and training courses that I often deliver in organisations or for your organisation. So if you're interested in that side of things, or executive and corporate coaching, then that is also on the website. There are online programs on the website that you can individually purchase and complete in the privacy of your own home at your own pace, where you can cover a massive content on stress management. There's a 7-module course on stress management available for sale at a reduced price of I think $199 at the moment, which have 7 modules that you do over at least 7 weeks, if not more, with time in between to use the practical strategies that we cover for you to really gain control, shake your life up, master the stress management, get loads of techniques on time management, confidence, and so on and so on. Loads and loads of information. It's a jam-packed program, that one, that you can purchase either for yourself or a loved one, or if you're a manager and you've got a team member that's off with stress, it can be something that your company can purchase for them, and they do it at their own pace or in work time or whatever. There's also a time management program, much shorter, for about I think £49. You buy it through the website, you pay through the website with the bank details. There's also, if you're local to this area, 2 workshops coming up for free, 2 taster workshops, 2-hour workshops, one on confidence, one on stress, one place per person on only one of the workshops, because I keep them really small. So if you are local to this area and would like to come along to one of my free workshops, it's on January the 25th, 2020 in Basingstoke. Again, go to the website www.milestone-coaching.co.uk, where you can sign up and gain a place on one of those workshops. If you ever want to email me, dawn@milestone-coaching.co.uk, with any questions, comments, learnings, shared experiences, or topic requests for this podcast, then drop me an email there or contact me through the website. The last thing I wanted to say was on Facebook, I run a confidence coach group. You can follow my group if you would like to become a member, or I have a Facebook page, Milestone Coaching and Training Company Facebook page, where you can follow me there and get all updates, comments, see other people's comments and so on. So there's loads for you to get involved with if you want to. Other than that, let's just crack on now with this week's podcast topic. At the time of recording this podcast today, it is actually December the 29th. So we've just finished with Christmas and New Year is looming. Now, I don't know what time of year you are listening to this. You could be listening to it in real time. And if you are, then I hope you had a fab Christmas. And I hope you're looking forward to New Year. If you're listening to this afterwards, it doesn't matter because it is relevant. And I know my regular listeners will be expecting me to do something on New Year's resolutions or goal setting or time to draw a line and start afresh, those sorts of benefits. And so I didn't want to disappoint. So I am going to focus on and base this on the fact that you might be listening to this around end of December, early January, to mid-January maybe, because it is a perfect time to wipe the slate clear and to have good intentions and have good plans and stop doing some things that aren't so good for us, and start doing other things. And it's a good, I don't necessarily think we need New Year's resolutions as such, but I do believe in goal setting, and I do believe in constantly improving, self-improvement, moving forward, and I do believe in just growing. I love learning. I think learning keeps us alive. Learning expands our minds. What was it I heard the other day? That we have a choice, that we can either have a sponge between our ears or a rock between our ears. And for me, I think a sponge between our ears is much healthier, much more empowering, much more helpful. It moves us forward. It gives us so much than to keep our minds fixed. And I think the good thing about January, the good thing about the new year is we're often quite ready for change. We're often quite ready for improvement. We've been building up for Christmas, anticipating Christmas, working hard towards Christmas, lots of work, preparation. It's exhausting. Then we often have some downtime, maybe with friends, family, maybe by ourselves, take stock, enjoy the relaxation time off work, hopefully for most. And then we do it overindulge, quite a lot of us, with the wrong foods, the wrong drinks, too much of it, etc. And that's what's nice about Christmas. But we feel ready, perhaps by the time January comes, to do a bit of cleansing, do a bit of changing, introducing new things, stopping old things that might not be doing as much good. So I think it is an ideal opportunity. So for me, and I think I may have mentioned this before, I love the time of year as it draws to an end. I love taking stock of and reflecting, and I think reflection is a really, really good thing to do. It's worthwhile doing. One of my episodes is called How to Be Your Own Coach, and there I talk about how important it is after anything that we've done significant, whether we feel we've done it well or whether we feel we haven't. I always believe we should self-coach or reflect. What did I do well there? What, if I could have my time over again, would I do slightly differently? And that means we are not criticizing ourselves. We are learning from what we've done. It's more growth mindset than fixed mindset. We're taking the good and we notice what was good, and therefore we repeat that more, learn from it. That worked really, really well, so do it more. We notice what we would change if we could, and so those are the things we need to adapt and develop. And so therefore we're always improving and always moving forward. And I think as the year comes to an end, it is a perfect time to do that for all of us. But about the whole year, what was good about this year? What did I do well this year? What did I enjoy? What could I have done more of? What am I proud of this year? What did I work hard towards this year? What did I stick with this year? What did I bounce back from this year? What did I learn this year? Who did I bring into my life? Who is new in my life? Who have I consciously decided to move away from this year? I talk in one episode about the importance of deadheading all our flowers and plants and having a clear out symbolically in so many ways in our life. And so I think as this year comes to an end, it is a good opportunity for all of us. So the first takeaway from today's podcast is maybe you could sit down with a pen and paper and reflect on the past year. What did you do well? What are you proud of? What did you bounce back from? What did you get through? What did you learn? The key learnings this year, the key achievements this year, the struggles that you've had, and what you can learn from those struggles. They may have been in your control or not in your control, but what have you learnt from them? What have been your strengths this year? What have you drawn on that was already there, and what strengths have you developed because you've had 2 this year that you can continue to build? What emotions have you had this year, and what can you take from that? And what would you like so if you look at all of those things and you jot them all down and see them in black and white, and actually you're coaching yourself now, you're learning all your strengths, all the pluses from this year. Equally, it's important to reflect on this year of what did you not do perhaps so well, what did you not bounce back from so quickly, or what have you put up with this year? That if you had your time over again, if you could wind the clock back to the beginning of January, what would you do differently in 2019? What would you not put up with? What would you like to learn that you didn't? What would you like to bounce back from sooner that you didn't? What would you like to try that you didn't? What would you like to have done more of that for whatever reason you didn't or couldn't? What opportunities did you turn down and you wish you hadn't? What experiences, what socials, all of those things do you wish on reflection you should have done sooner or more of, or just done that you didn't do, and so on. What job did you not take, or have you put up with a job that you've hated and here you are a year later still in the same job? What about your relationships? What have you improved in your relationship or friendships? What have you put up with that perhaps you wish you hadn't? Are you still in a relationship that you'd wished last year or hoped you could get out of and you're still there, etc.? So the journal or the booklet that you've got there, the notebook that you've got, write all of this down, write down all your reflections, because looking back we can benefit from hindsight, can't we? So that's a great thing to do, and give yourself hours to do this. Give yourself lots of time to do this. Make a nice cup of tea, have a lie-in in bed, get nice and comfy or on the sofa or something like that, nice environment, or go to a nice favourite coffee shop or something and sit with a new notebook that you can dedicate to this and reflect on 2019. All of it, good and bad, all of the learnings, all of the mistakes, all of the achievements. And when you've done that, you've really started to look at what you can take into 2020, because first you've got all the good things, the things you've learned, your achievements, your strengths, the things you've used this year that have helped you, the things you're proud of, etc. And so take those into 2020 first, and build on them, do more of them, draw on them more, expand on them, etc. They're in your bag, they're your credits in your bank already, and you can just maximize them, capitalize on them, etc. The things on reflection that you wish you'd done differently, or you wish you'd done more of, or you wish you'd started, or whatever, those are the things perhaps you can carry forward into 2020 as new things to focus on. Those are your areas of development, and they may form part of your plan for 2020. Once we've done that and we've finished with reflection, we've written it all down, we then need to think about, okay, we've got 2020 looming now, fresh start, opportunity to make changes, opportunity to make improvements, an opportunity to bring new things in, to stop things, to do more of some good, less of the not so good. So what would you like? What do you want to, this time next year, i.e. at the end of December 2020, what would you like to be reflecting back on if you repeat the same exercise? So if this became an annual year, you can not only benefit from from hindsight, i.e. the reflection you've just done, you now can benefit from foresight. Fast forward 12 months, what would you like to be looking back on and recording in that same journal of your successes of this forthcoming year, the achievements, the new things you've tried, the strengths you've drawn on, the things you've come through, the things you found out about yourself, the things you've learned. So those are your goals for 2020. And why do we want goals? Well, goals really, it doesn't have to be January the 1st. It doesn't have to be New Year's resolutions. A lot of us don't even like that phrase. But having goals it gives you direction. Even if you don't reach and achieve all of your goals, just having them can enrich your life in a number of ways, really. It gives you a sense of direction, it gives you a map for your year, it gives you a focus, and you know, if you don't have them, you will get somewhere without a doubt. In 2020 you'll get somewhere, you'll achieve some things, but are they the things you want to achieve? Is it the destination you want to reach? Are they the goals you want to achieve? Because if you're in the driving seat, of course you're much more likely to steer it the way you want. If you're in the passenger seat, you just go wherever someone takes you, and that's not so in control. It's not giving you sense of control, it's not so giving you such a sense of direction, it doesn't give you that motivation. Whereas when we set goals, they give you a sense of direction and a destination. They give you something to aim for and direct your efforts towards. So, you know, it's a much better start. It's a good start. It's a strong start. They help you, they help guide you to where you ultimately want to be in your life. That's got to be a good thing. You can set lifetime goals, or you can set goals just for the year. So you just don't wander anymore. You don't drift anymore. What was it Oliver Wendell Holmes said? The great thing in this world is not so much where you are, but in what direction we're moving. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for here. So also writing down goals. All the research shows that you're much more likely to achieve them if you write them down. There's something in the actual act of committing them to paper. Now, it might be the time that you take. It takes a lot longer to sit down, write them out, plan them out, than it does to just let them wander around your head, whirring like a washing machine on a spin. They're more like dreams, you know, those thoughts that whir around in our mind or come to us at 4 a.m. when we can't sleep, something like that. They're more dreams. If we sit down and take the time to write them out, take the time to plan, how am I, okay, I'd like to learn this, or I'd like to do that, or I'd like to go there, or I'd like to achieve this. If we take the time to sit down, write it out, and then how are you going to do it? Who's involved? What's the first steps? What are the second steps? What's your priority? What do you need to do first? What do you need to overcome? A little action plan. You're much, without doubt, likely to achieve it than if you just think it. So it's essential that you set your personal goals, but also I think write them down, specific, make them SMART goals, you know, very specific. What is it? It's not that you just want the word more, ban the word more or less. I want to earn more money. Well, what is more? If you get a £5 a week extra, you've done it. But is that what you really want to achieve? I want to lose weight. Well, how much do you want to lose? I want to get fitter. How much fitter? How do you measure it? You've got to be specific and have a measurement. Much more likely to then achieve it, and a time frame. By when? It's not just I want to learn to speak French. That's so vague. If you just learn a few sentences in French, you've done it. How much French, by when, for what purpose, how are you going to do it? Be really specific. Want to get fitter? Well, how fit? I want to run a half a marathon in under 2 hours by the summer. That's much more specific. You're much more likely to do that. Or I want to lose weight, or I want to get out of debt, or something like that. Be really specific. Do not use the word more or less. I want to lose. I want to be more confident. Well, how much more? What do you want to achieve? Is it that you want to stand up and do a presentation? Is it that you want to be able to have a really good job interview and get a job? What is it that you want to be more confident for? Is it that you want a relationship and you're not yet dating because you've not got the confidence? How much more confidence, and in order to achieve what? And then once you've got your goals, of course, it gives you clarity in decision making. Goal setting sort of helps you focus on what's important to you and what you want to achieve. And therefore, whenever you're making decisions in your future, it's much easier to make decisions because you've got that clarity. If it underpins your goals, if doing X, Y, and Z, is it going to help me with my goals, i.e. to run that half marathon? Yes, it is. Right, well, I'll do it. Is going out and drinking on a big bender, eating loads, is that going to help you run that half marathon at the weekend? No, it's not. Well, then that helps your decision. Making clear goals not only gives you that focus on what's important now, it also gives you that clarity in your decision making, because you want to do much more that's underpinning your goals than those things that aren't. So it really helps you. It gives you that control in your future. If you haven't got those goals, you're just drifting aimlessly. So there are some real benefits to having these. If you want to call them goals, great. If you want to call them New Year's resolutions, great. Call them what you want, a plan, a 2020 plan. Or if you like the idea that it's a new decade, I really like that. I'm really excited by that. I've been looking back thinking, gosh, what have I done in the last 10 years? What has this decade been about? What does it symbolise for me? What's been significant in these 10 years? Has it overall been a good decade or not? And what do I want the next one? What do I want 2020, 24, 28 to be about? I think for me, the last 10 years really has been getting the children through up to and into their teens. It's quite a challenging time, teenagers, a really challenging time. There's lots of angst and lots of feuds, and I think that's a natural way of them flexing their muscles and getting independent. Really, they've got to push against your boundaries, but it's hard. It's really hard. There are lovely moments and there's some real tough moments, and you feel rubbish as a parent, and at times you actually don't want to be around them at the moment because they're not nice company. At times you love them, but at times the atmosphere in the house can be really difficult because they're really pushing the boundaries. And I think for my last decade, it's been getting the children through, and we've still got some of that to go, but I suspect looking forward over the next 10 years it will be letting them fly the nest. It will be university possibly next year for my oldest, then my second going to sixth form, and he will hopefully find his path and go off for an apprenticeship or for university. The oldest one's got a relationship now and she's coming into our family, and it's changing. Things are changing, and it will continue to change. And who knows? There may be marriage or not, or grandchildren or not, or them finding their careers, they may go travelling, may have gap years. And my other half is talking about retirement, so we're going to have to make a big shift there, where he's going to be in my territory in a way, because I work from home, so he's going to be in my space. We're going to have to shift around emotionally and almost sort of reconcile those differences, where this is my territory in a way. So there's going to be big adjustments where he's going to be suddenly here. We've got to get used to that. We've got to make changes and find a new way forward, and the children are going to be less here. There will be good times. I'm certain there will be good times, but I'm certain there will also be challenges, and retirement is a big adjustment in life for both concerned. So I'm looking forward to that, but there are going to be some differences and some adjustments that will need to be made. So having these goals will give me a sense of purpose. It will give you a sense of purpose if you know what you want 2020 to be about and the next decade. It's exciting, really exciting. A bit scary, but it's the unknown. That's great too. It keeps you alive and on your feet. So for me, what are mine? I love testing myself. I love challenging myself, whether it's one of these ultra walks that we've done the last 2 years, where we've walked 60 miles. We're going to do another one of those, but we found our own route. We're going to do a new one and get some different friends involved with that. That's our first one in March. But for me personally, I'm going to share this with you just so that we can keep each other going. For me in January, I'm going to do, as usual, I often do dry January, if nothing else, because I think it's quite healthy. But secondly, I like challenging myself. I like testing. Can I stick with it? Have I got the resolve? Have I got the discipline? It's a test, and I think it's good to test ourselves sometimes and put ourselves under that pressure and make ourselves choose, because I now know what my decisions are in January in terms of alcohol. So that's one thing I'm going to give up. The other thing I wanted to share with you is I'm decided I'm going to try veganism in January. From January the 1st, I'm going to try veganism. At the moment, I'm everything, meat eater. I'm not even vegetarian. So it's a big jump. And I'm doing it for many reasons. A, because I think it's the way forward for the planet, first and foremost. But for me personally, I think it's going to be a massive challenge and a huge education. I'm already finding with the my next supermarket shop, all the things I've got to get in and get rid of and change. I'm not doing it for the family. The boys are still growing, and it's their choice. I wouldn't foist this on anybody. But I think my husband's going to try and do it 90%. I just want to test myself. I also want to see if I feel any different physically, any more energy, sleep any better, feel better, whether aches and pains go, whether I feel healthier, etc. I just want to test whether I can do it, whether I've got the resolve, the commitment, whether I can resist things, rise to the challenge, and how I'll feel at the end. That for me are my two major goals in January, and the training for the walk in March. So I've got some goals, and that gives me direction, that gives me clarity, that gives me focus, that gives me a chance to test. So what's yours? What are you going to try and learn? I also want to learn something this year as well. I've been looking at Open University free courses, short courses. I'd like to learn something new this year too. Those regular listeners of the podcast here, the followers, my regular followers will know I love learning new things, listening to other experts, reading things, watching things, attending things, and that will continue, but I want to learn something specific on some course this year. So maybe go for it. Be specific, smart objectives. It doesn't have to be just about a January thing. It's about the whole year and reflecting and drawing on the past. So drop me a line, share it with me. If you want to follow me on my Facebook Milestone Facebook page, you can follow me and we can put comments on there. I've also got the confidence group. If you go into the Milestone Facebook page or into my website and follow me on Facebook, it then gives you the opportunity to join the confidence group, and there we can interact, all of us, and you can put up what you're trying to give up, what you're trying to learn, or what you're trying to start, or new things, new goals, and we can keep each other going and support each other, because that definitely helps, definitely. Be a little bit of a community to support to each other. So if you're doing this, then I'd love to hear from you. Good luck, enjoy it, find out what you learn about yourself, share it, and apart from that, I wanted to just wish you a really happy new year. I know it may not be New Year when you listen to this, but if it is, happy new year to you. Thank you for listening to these podcasts. I hope they've been helpful. My plan for next year is to continue to do these. So share it with anybody that you feel will be interested and would benefit. Share it out so that we can reach more people and support more people. But all the very best to all of you in 2020. I hope it's a phenomenal year for you, with great experiences, achievements, happiness, laughter, huge amount of confidence, and a huge amount of joy and health. And I hope by listening to this podcast I can help contribute to that in my own way. But more than anything, you can. All the best, enjoy New Year, and continue to follow, and I'll speak to you on the next edition of Life Coaching on the Move. Take care, everybody.